All right, so for today's lunchtime meditation, I'm actually going to be talking about the full moon that we had last night. This meditation is going to be all about some of that energy that we're still rolling with. At least for me, I find a few days before the full moon and a few days after, I'm definitely feeling the effects of it. So I thought this would be a perfect time to reflect. So as you set up and find your comfortable meditation position, either seated in a chair, on the ground, on a bolster or cushion, just let yourself settle in, tuning into your breath. Letting yourself be fully present and setting your intention to see what comes up during today's meditation. Releasing expectations. And just going with whatever feels right to you today. So the full moon we had last night, it's actually the harvest moon. The harvest moon is the full moon that's closest to the equinox. And this time of year, that name harvest moon, we're thinking about what we've harvested. The full moon in general is the culmination of a cycle. The realization of things that you've put into place. So especially with the harvest moon, we're looking at what we are harvesting. Feeling gratitude for the goals that have turned into accomplishments. And being in a space of abundance. Now, when we talk about abundance, it doesn't mean that you have everything that you'd like to have. But it's embodying this space of gratitude for what you do have in the moment. This time of year is also special because the seasons are changing. Shifting from the warmth of summer to the coolness of autumn and winter. Again, reflecting on cycles. For my friends up north, this might mean that we're heading towards the hibernation of winter. This space of turning inwards. For those of us here in Florida, it might be the reverse. Having spent much of the summer indoors and now expanding outwards, exploring, emerging in more of a spring-like way. I'd like to shift now into a guided visualization. So, taking a few moments here to check in with your posture, to make sure that you're comfortable, maybe finding a little adjustment, maybe sitting up a little taller if it feels good to align your spine. Letting your eyes be softly closed or having your gaze soften on something just a little bit in front of you. In your mind's eye, I invite you to imagine a broad field stretching off in all directions with a beautiful, vast sky above you. Noticing the colors of the sky, whether there are clouds, and what the landscape looks like. In the sky, the moon begins to rise, beautiful and full, like it was last night. Letting the glow of the moon wash over you. Perhaps imagining that you have a few seeds in your hand. Each seed representing a goal that you have set in the past. Reflecting on the goals, the aspirations, the dreams that these seeds might represent to you. Perhaps you imagine yourself digging a small hole in the dirt and placing these seeds inside of the hole, covering them with cool dirt. Setting your intention to nurture these seeds and to help them grow. As if by magic, a little sprout bursts forth from the earth where you planted the seeds. The green leaves coming forth, with the little bud of a flower, watching as the petals slowly unfurl, blooming. What does your flower look like? What color are the petals? Is the bloom close to the earth, or is it tall like a sunflower? At the very center of the flower, you see an image. It's the unfolding of one of your favorite accomplishments, of something that's gone really well for you. Take a moment here and really let yourself feel the emotions and sensations that came up when you experienced that accomplishment. Really letting the gratitude wash over you and noticing the other thoughts, emotions, or sensations as you reflect on a moment of abundance in your life. Reflecting for a moment here on the idea of a cycle, of how we get from the seeds, our goals, to the flowers and the accomplishments. Just as a farmer creates the right conditions for his crops, so must we find ways to nurture and nourish, taking time to pause, to appreciate the end of a cycle, to reflect with gratitude on what you have created before beginning again. When you feel ready, slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart space. This hand position represents gratitude, bringing the focus to the heart. Taking a few deep breaths here as you check in with yourself on how this meditation went, on what came up for you today. When you feel ready, you can softly blink your eyes open if they were closed, releasing your hands back down, bringing yourself back into the space. Thank you so much for joining me for this Harvest Moon meditation.